The special call meeting for the Huntsville City Council is now in session. We have a motion on the floor that was made by me at the previous council meeting. It was seconded by Dr. Showers in reference to the Huntsville City Council Ordinance number 16-533, annexing 20.35 acres of land lying on the east side of Sanderson Road, south of Cooper Run Drive. This was postponed August 11th, 2016 at a regular council meeting. Discussion?
Mr. Chairman, I apologize for missing the meeting, but why was it postponed?
It was postponed by the chair. The motion was made to postpone for further discussion with representatives from Limestone County. I have subsequently had meetings with them, and if there aren't any additional questions, then we'll move forward with it.
Well, since this was held, and we have potentially created issues for the developer, the residents who wanted this, and a number of other things, I guess I would be interested in knowing what your issues were, how they were resolved, and your thoughts regarding moving forward.
Okay, that is a very good question, and I'm so glad you asked. As you may know, we have had, as in District 5, several town hall meetings, 7 thus far this year, 5 of those being in Limestone County. So what I'm hearing from residents in District 5 is that we basically want the same kinds of services that people in Central City of Huntsville are getting, and that includes fire, police, it includes utilities. The reason I had the meeting was to make sure, first of all, that there was no ambiguity regarding the water. Those residents in the Rock Creek area, the Heritage Estates area, the Bridgewater area are getting their water from Limestone County. And their rates are much higher than what Huntsville rates are. I understand why those rates are much higher now. They are not going to change, but I want the public to be aware that if they are annexed into Huntsville and we are unable to provide to them Huntsville water, that their rates primarily are going to be higher without regards to whether or not they choose to annex into Huntsville or if they choose not to. So the purpose of postponing this was not a reflection on the builder. In fact, I've talked with the builder. I have met with representatives from Limestone, and there is not a problem there. What we want to make sure is that people understand when they come for an annexation request that their services are going to be explained to them by the developer, what services they're getting and what location. They don't get into the rate amount because it's incumbent upon the individual property owner to make contact with the agencies that will be providing those services to them. And also, in addition to that, it didn't create a problem for the home builders. They don't have to go back and jump through any additional loops. And this is why we asked for a postponement for a week instead of a month, because otherwise it would have subjected them to having to go back through all of the necessary paperwork and start anew. So from that perspective, it didn't put a hardship on anyone by postponing this matter for 1 week. Any additional questions or discussion? Yes, sir, Dr.
You
Showers.
also mentioned, if my recollection is right, that you had microphone.
Yes, sir.
Mr. President, you had mentioned at our last meeting before you postponed that, did I understand that you had not had an opportunity to meet with the local officials in Limestone?
That is correct, sir.
Okay. Since we have done this. Now, have you had a chance to meet with them on
Yes,
this
sir.
issue?
Yes, sir, I have.
Okay. What was their position once they were told what we were going to do?
Okay, so, the officials in Limestone County, are tasked with having to provide water for the entire county of Limestone. So, the system that they put in place, was initially a $75 million system. They have had to upgrade that system to now, I want to say $130, $140 million. So the rate that they have in place has been established, and it's not going to change. And we're not trying to change that. The important thing about this whole process is communications. And Ms. Nichols has reassured me in this previous council meeting that residents who are annexed in, let me digress for a minute. People who are buying homes in that area will understand that their water is not coming from Huntsville Utilities. It's going to be coming from Limestone County Water, and those rates are set, and the city of Huntsville is precluded from penetrating that area with our water because it is controlled by legislative acts. Therefore, it is completely out of our hands. So I'm going to make sure, and that was the purpose of postponing this, to make sure that people who are moving into those areas will understand that while we control the utilities, the water is something that Huntsville does not have the authority to regulate.
So if I'm understanding, then the issue was never the annexation.
When you say annexation, the issue was not the builder.
Your concern was not about the annexation. Your concern was about the communicating with the residents.
Okay. My concern was with regards to the annexation because when we annex that property, it becomes Huntsville city limits. It comes into Huntsville. So all of the things that the residents in those areas have expressed, I wanted to get some answers. I wanted to get, and when I had those town hall meetings, I didn't get the help that I needed, the cooperation and the participation that I needed to go in to discuss that with the residents. So now we have that. I've got a commitment from the water board that whenever we do a town hall meeting in those areas, they will be more than happy to be there to explain that more in-depthly to our residents. So this by no means was a waste of time. It has satisfied my inquiries without penalties and or punishment to anyone. So if there aren't any additional questions, then I am certainly prepared to move forward with this item. Any additional questions or discussion, council members?
Move to approve.
Okay, so it's been properly moved and second, so we're ready for the question. All in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. It carries. Council members, are there any other business to come before this council? Is there a motion?
Move to adjourn?
We are adjourned.